Welcome to Nerds Against Normality, your favourite podcast and a safe space to hang out with your fellow nerds with me, Stacey Bowles, the Sonic to my Amy, Harry Bowles.
Hello.
And our Big the Cat, Ben.
I don't feel safe, but fair enough.
So
Thank you very much for referencing my favourite Sonic character.
Quite the deep cut as well.
You love fishing, I don't know.
That's the thing, I hate fishing. I absolutely hate it.
You are purple.
But I like that he likes it.
So, what's been going on this week? Last time you both said you were going to a gig.
Oh yeah, that was the day before, wasn't it? Or no,
Yeah.
that was the week.
Last episode was the day before the podcast.
The day before the podcast?
Recording.
Yes.
Yeah, it was. We went to see Korn, didn't we, at
The
Gunnersby
day
Park?
after the podcast.
Yeah, I was wondering, but never mind. It is what it is. Yeah. So we went to see Korn at Gunnersby Park because, we're 15 at heart.
Absolutely.
And new metal is still relevant.
It's still very relevant.
So relevant.
I had a whole drunken chat with John about how new metal is still relevant.
So relevant that they played songs from 20 years ago.
Absolutely. Oh, why you got to do that?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, that's
Loved it.
the sweet spot of music, though, right?
I remember saying to my mates afterwards who don't listen to that sort of music, they were like, is Korn big? And I was like, yeah. Like, honestly, early 2000s, late 90s, that was the big spot.
Yeah. 20 years ago. Were you born?
Sadly.
Yeah.
Were you middle-aged?
Yeah.
He took his hearing aid to the gig. I don't know whether you noticed.
Yeah, we could hear the wine from the feedback.
No. I had someone doing sign language for me.
Oh,
I couldn't hear anything.
how was it?
The
Was
mosh
it
pit
good?
just looked like a violent fight.
Speaking of the mosh pit, it was good. I had a lovely moment where Harry, my good friend of 10 years, decided to managed, I'm quite surprised, not that you're not strong, you are, but I'm
Very drunk.
Yeah, but I'm also really gangly. I'm quite thin and quite spaghetti limbed, and he managed to completely pick me up and drop me, and I don't bounce.
What? You dropped Ben?
But do you not know about this?
No.
No, he managed to completely sort of pick me up and bane me.
I don't remember it. So I don't.
What did you do? You're like,
I was so drunk. I don't remember. I don't remember what I did. I remember the next day at work, because that was nothing, I had 3 hours sleep.
Yeah.
I remember the next day at work, having a quick stretch in my t-shirt, had obviously ridden up to expose my abs.
your washboard abs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If that washboard had been broken quite a lot and hadn't been used, it was just bad. I remember someone went, "Oh my God, what happened to you?" Thinking what the hell? And I was saying this to you the other day, it was just bruising all the way up. And I thought, I did hit the floor, but not hard. And I was immediately picked up afterwards. And I was like, how did that happen? Did I hit a wall, or did it hit a pole, something like that? I was like, I don't remember. So I was just going through it in my head, song after song. No, wasn't in the pit then. Wasn't in the pit then. Oh, my good friend Harry was in the pit then. Oh, I've absolutely understood. Yeah, I know exactly where I've got this from.
Yeah, moshing is a health and safety risk.
Moshing's great. And
I've been dealing with the aftermath with Harry all week.
oh yeah, how did you deal with this?
Yeah. So at some point I got shunted and broke a rib. It was just been very uncomfortable to sleep with, to live with, but it was worth it.
Sorry, you genuinely broke a rib?
Yeah.
Fractured.
Well, yeah, fractured. Yeah.
What, you fractured a rib?
Yeah, rib.
Who the hell hit you that hard?
I don't know.
Wasn't that big of a pit?
No.
I don't know, but we've had to prop the bed up so we can sleep upright.
That is real metal.
That's so metal.
That is so
real
metal. I have to have the bed to myself. And I'm on 3 lots of painkillers a day.
Nice. That's real metal.
Because I refuse to admit that I'm 37.
There were
37?
57. There was a moment where we were going out to games night with our friends, and Harry sat down on the stairs without cushioning himself
To put the shoes on.
to put his shoes on.
Not to slide down it. Which is how I normally go downstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Like an adult.
It's a spiral staircase as well. You're mad.
you say what happened next, because all I know is you stopped speaking, you couldn't breathe,
And you shit yourself.
That's standard. That's standard.
Update on Harry's colonic. I didn't shit myself again. Be proud.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sat down and literally didn't cushion it because I thought I was fine. I didn't think I had a fractured rib at the time. I just sat down, bang, and I just felt a jolt go through my body, and I was like, I was like, oh. She's like, "You're all right." And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "I'm fine." And she's like, "You gonna be all right?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm just getting some painkillers. I'll be fine." And so
We got in the car and drove round the block, and I was
As
just
a
deliberately
tester.
driving slowly, and any bump he was like, "Oh!" I think what we've learned here, guys, is that when you're over a certain age,
Yeah. Which we're not at yet.
yeah.
some
So
people
what's your point?
moshing too dangerous.
It's great.
Overall, though, great gig. Would recommend Corn if you like that sort of music. Really good.
It was so good. It was definitely on the bucket list as well. I wanted to see them for
Great venue.
Yeah, really good venue. I've never been
Where
there
was the
before.
venue?
Gunnersbury. But yeah, we had an absolute nightmare getting back home because the thing is with Gunnersbury, it's easy getting in, but leaving, nightmare. They don't funnel you out properly, so you're kind of like walking really, really slow.
Yeah.
And we're all panicking, some more than others, about missing the last train.
Yeah.
Which we did, which was fine. But we got home.
Yeah.
We got home.
We got home in a way.
Yeah, it took us a long time, but we got there.
Yeah.
Got to a neighbouring town and then just Ubered it.
I'm going to take a positive from this for like sake of John and sake of Harry. It's that I was fine. I'm actually fine because again I'm very bendy and I can just sort of.
bendy.
If
Ben
I get.
Stacey profile stars here.
It started a long time ago.
For our podcast listeners, Ben kind of looks like a wacky inflatable arm man. that's his build.
Yeah. And for the sake of the listeners, Harry sounds like a hurtful man.
A small, bitter, broken
Old
man.
bitter old man. Which maybe just people avoided me in the mosh pit because they thought if I tackle him, I'll break him. So, and with you two, who are quite broad and look a lot more like a wall.
You just look like a wall.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was a very good gig. Glad to do it. Definitely be going. What's the next gig we've got? Is it
Arch Enemy, In Flames, and Soilwork.
Yeah, and then Bloodstock
London
next,
That's delightful.
and then Bloodstock next year.
No, then Pantera.
Then Bloodstock next year.
Yeah.
We are going to see Paul McCartney in December. I was so excited.
Another mosh pit.
Well, probably not.
Harry starts windmilling to Let It Be.
I exclusively go to gigs where I can have a sit down, a cup of tea, and have a jolly good time.
Are you a Paul McCartney fan?
Who isn't a Paul McCartney fan?
I think most people under 55, but fair enough.
You've met her.
I have.
What do you think?
Are you?
You're like 75.
What? Under 55? Yes, I am.
Well, I've never heard you talk about. No, I don't.
Really?
No, I've never heard you talk about. I've heard you talk about the
biggest,
Beatles.
Yeah, biggest Beatles. Well, this is the thing is he's doing like 3 gigs at the O2, I think it is, or something.
Okay.
He hasn't done one for a while, and I was kind of like, well, because I'm such a Beatles fan, this is, without to be morbid, this is my chance to see him
Yeah.
whilst he's still here.
Is he allowed to do Beatles tracks?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I always thought that was more of a rights thing. Like he'd only be able to do like Wings.
No. The last gig he did.
It's like no, Paul.
The last gig he did, he had a video of John Lennon up behind him whilst he was singing one of the songs.
Before or after? Sorry, that was so bad.
Before.
Okay.
And I'm a absolute soppy sucker for John Lennon. I can't explain it, but any time that I see anything about John Lennon, I will weep like a baby.
I see.
So full disclosure, Harry's got to put up with me crying through the whole gig, probably.
Fair enough.
But looking forward to it.
Have you heard of what Sam Mendes is doing?
What?
He's doing 4 films about all 4 Beatles members.
Oh, amazing. Looking
And
forward
then
to
at the end, they're going to do like the Beatles Endgame where they all join together.
On your right.
John? Where's John?
That's incredible. Can't wait.
Yeah, it's he's doing 4 films about all 4 Beatles members. And they're all going to sort of cross over and coalesce. From what I've heard about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, looking forward to that. Keep an eye out for that.
Absolutely.
What have you been watching this week?
We've been watching, gaming, reading,
Gaming,
anything.
reading? What are you up to?
Working.
Mostly work. It's mostly been working on a very cool bit of The Witcher at the moment, which I can't talk about, but it is going to be interesting and not allowed. it's annoying. I can't say any more about it, but it is going to be quite interesting. And I don't think The Witcher's done what they're attempting to do on this bit before. But everyone's just going to have to wait a year and a half, 2 years for that. And then gaming. What have I been gaming? Elden Ring.
Oh, you started
Nice
it.
chill downtime.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's just load up and have a peaceful little run around.
I hate myself.
Right.
Is that like a full RPG kind of?
So it's from the guys who did Dark Souls, and like as a caveat, From Software is one of my favourite studios. Dark Souls is one of my favourite games. They've done no wrong ever, apart from the early stuff, all of the early stuff. And Elden Ring's like the newest one from them. I have been playing it. I think I've put about 45 hours into it. And on the PS5, there's a lovely little bit where if you go onto it, it will show you the percentage of the game you're through. I'm on to 16%. I've gone through 12 bosses.
Oh my god!
And I've discovered so much. And I just haven't scratched the surface. I did a whole session the other day where I thought, it's Sunday, nothing else is on. I'm going to try and beat this boss that I've been stuck on. And it's literally, you go out the door, you turn right, you go through the fog gate, you get your ass handed to you, rinse and repeat. I decided after 20 minutes I couldn't do it anymore, so I'll go and do something else. And I've got on this big, long, quite literally on this full circle of all the bits I've explored because I'm trying to find this fucking key that I haven't been able to find. And I eventually found it. Turns out it was right next to the fucking door. And I hate
Keys and doors.
Oh,
They look quite well together.
And then started this little mini side quest thing. That's the great thing about Elden Ring. It won't tell you you're on a side quest. You just have to sort of be in the right place at the right time and figure out all the environmental stuff around it.
No one needs to figure stuff out.
I tell you what, it's a really good game model for Tomb Raider. The next Tomb Raider needs to adopt this.
Okay.
Because it's all environmental storytelling and figuring stuff out from fragments of information, which is what Tomb Raider should be anyway. Because you're an archaeologist who, let's be honest, destroys more than she saves. And got to this, did this bit of the side quest, then this bit, then went back to another little bit, which you can only do at night because he only turns up there at night because it's a werewolf, don't ask questions about it. Turn up there and he goes, you need to go to this castle. I'm like, it'd be really interesting if you went to this castle, this festival that's going on. I thought, I'm at that, I've been to that castle, the festival's not going on. How do I progress this part of it? You got to kill that boss I was doing right at the beginning. 3 hours later, I've come back exactly where I started, and I haven't learned a thing. I love it. I love this game so much. It's a great game. What have I watched? I haven't watched a lot. I finished off The Boys.
Yeah.
The Boys is done. I really like it. I kind of agree with you, Harry. It is very much a part 1 to a part 2.
Yeah, good setup.
Yeah, really good setup.
It's been long enough about spoilers, so how do you feel about Butcher? He's going to die, right? He's going to
He's
going to go.
He's fully
Okay,
gone.
with full spoilers in.
Yeah, sorry, that's full spoilers.
Well, he doesn't die in season 4, but it's not looking great.
No, but we thought he's gonna like.
I think
find
he'll take
a way.
Homelander.
And-
I think he'll
and-
die with Homelander.
And the bits in him are maybe like his super power coming out. That's all.
Well, yeah, he's obviously got a superpower because at the end,
I should have been able to do that.
yeah, you can't do that.
Or it'll
Yeah.
end on him dying, like you say, because it's the last one.
I think in terms of who's getting out alive from season 5, Homelander's not getting out alive. I don't think any of the 7 are getting out alive, apart from maybe the Deep.
The deep, yeah.
I think it's so pathetic.
I think the Deep is getting out there alive, and it's going to be like, what? Why? Why are you here?
The whole bit with what's his name and the dad?
Huey.
Simon Pegg. Yeah, Huey and his dad was
Oh, that was
horrific.
That was quite sad.
Yeah, it was really
Yeah,
sad.
it was very good.
Very good.
Yeah,
Okay.
very good. And then I'll do one more very quickly. I watched Monkey Man. Have you seen it yet?
Monkey Man.
Yeah. I see something here. I don't.
The song by Real Big Fish.
It is a song by Real Big Fish.
Tune, by the way.
Great
Look
song.
that up.
Great song. That's a very relevant band as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Still relevant to
That
me.
song probably came out
20 years ago.
Oh, I just want to relive my childhood. And by childhood, I mean,
You're early adult.
yeah, oh God.
Oh,
What's
God.
Monkey Man?
Monkey Man is, I've shown you the trailer for this.
Oh, it's a film, isn't it? It's the guy from, is it RRR?
No, it's an Indian, I was going to say it's an Indian film. It's not. It's a It's by Dev Patel.
Yeah, it's Constantine,
Slumdog
Indian
Millionaire.
Constantine.
There you go, Slumdog Millionaire, and also like Skins, and he's done
Yeah.
David Copperfield. Great actor. Like really, really like Dev Patel. I think he's one of our best like British actors we've got. Anyway, that's me done. I have nothing else.
Well,
So,
I'm sure you all want to hear about Love is Blind UK.
oh, you're going to go into it. You're watching
Oh, yeah.
what I'm being forced to watch.
No, you're not watching it.
I'm not watching it.
Oh, it's fantastic.
I've
Netflix.
heard of this, but I don't know anything. It came up on my newsfeed the other day. Like it was the final.
Yeah, I know I haven't watched it all yet.
No, it was.
In fact, I'm cutting this short just so I can finish the finale. Yeah, no, it's an American thing, but they've done a UK version with Emma and Matt Willis, who doesn't love Emma and Matt Willis?
Who are Matt Willis?
Matt Willis from Busted.
Which one from Busted?
More relevant bands.
I don't know. Again, 20 years ago, I never really.
Keep listening,
Moving on.
fellow youths.
How do you do, kids?
Anyway,
Which one was Matt Willis from Busted?
he's
He's not
Charlie.
not
Yeah, he's not Charlie.
not James, the other one. That's all I can tell you.
Okay.
And Emma is she presented Big Brother before and like loads of stuff you'd recognise.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's a bit everywhere, isn't she?
Yeah. But anyway, it's about couples who agree to marry each other before they see each other. They can speak to each other. And that's the Love is Blind part. And then they fast forward their lives. So they move in together. They go on a honeymoon. They meet each other's family. And then they will or won't get married at the end. And it's just great drama.
Okay.
I love to watch like crap.
And realistically, Ben, I think anyway, you're all going to get married.
So we signed you up.
I'm sorry. That felt a bit unnecessary.
It's so weird. We've got our contestant, but he just seems to really need a pegging. Really strange.
Stop crying.
No, but I love to watch like crappy reality shows because like my job's quite heavy. It's good to switch off.
Stacey works in a slaughterhouse.
We've also been really enjoying.
We call it the bloody corporate ladder. Know what I mean?
We've also been enjoying Exploding Kittens.
Yeah, Netflix animated series.
Oh right, not the hobby.
It's based on a card game, but it is quite funny.
I have.
It's
heard
like
of this.
easy watching. It's not like a
The
stand.
guy
It's
who
quite funny.
Lucifer, that guy,
Yeah.
he voices the main cat.
Right.
Cat.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's about a god and devil coming to Earth as cats, and then chaos ensues. But it's quite funny.
It's dumb fun. It's
Yeah.
fine.
That's
good.
animated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But our big one has been Umbrella Academy that we finished.
I'd like to save a lot of this for if we do review it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but we finished it.
We
Have you done
finished it.
all 4 seasons?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to watch it then. I haven't seen a single episode.
Whatever.
I've never seen an episode of Umbrella.
Oh,
I still
love it.
don't actually know what it's about. It's been so off my radar.
It's the Mary Poppins origin story.
It's, it's
How long have you been waiting?
Spoilers.
How long have you been waiting to
No.
do that joke?
When did it come out?
About 20 years ago, apparently.
yeah.
Given all the other media we like,
The soundtrack's by Evanescence.
I'd love that.
Yeah.
Don't even joke about that. That's great.
it does have the best soundtrack ever.
Okay, it's Gerard Way, isn't it? That's the one. Gerard Way is the lead singer of My Chemical Romance.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
it
he
is.
makes
It's
it.
written by him.
Yeah, because it's his comic book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it's about 7 kids who were adopted into this family, and they all have a superpower. And you know, it's a superpower thing, but it's really funny and
It's an apocalypse show, isn't it?
Yeah.
Essentially, they're trying every season. They cause the apocalypse, and they need to not cause the apocalypse.
Okay.
But all of them are just morons, aren't they?
dysfunctional.
They all have their good moments, but as a team, they don't function very well.
All right, that sounds intriguing.
It's good.
I've had other people say like you do need to watch Umbrella Academy.
It's really good. The last season, we won't go into the details, but it wasn't as good. We'll say that.
You were a lot harsher about it when we went to go see that film.
We've got a lot of questions.
Away from the mics, I believe. You're censoring yourselves.
Well, because the others were like 10 episodes and this one was only 6, and it felt like they were just like, right, we need to wrap this up.
It is a very classic way of we are bleeding money for this this series or this franchise, we need to get it done. It's always like, it's like I said to you guys, look at how many episodes someone was promised, like 10 episodes, and then look how many actually got made.
Yeah.
And you'll see where budget just got cut and cut and cut and cut.
Yeah, it's interesting. It felt like something happened. But anyway, it's still worth a watch, I think. Still worth a wrap up.
I'd agree.
What else have you been watching? Or we've done, I can't remember.
So I started watching Shield Hero, which is an anime, so very weeby. It's guy gets sucked into a video game in an RPG. He's the crappiest hero. He's a shield hero. Nobody likes him.
That's
it's
fair.
Decent. But I finished Mob Psycho season 3, which I absolutely loved. And if you like One Punch Man or anything like that, I'd recommend Mob Psycho. But it gets you in the feel. Season 3 is very good. It wraps up perfectly. It wraps up really well. Unlike some other shows, it wraps up really well.
Like Love is Blind.
Yeah, terrible.
Hey!
Turns out they can all see. No, other than that, went to the gig, done that. I haven't really gaming wise, I've just got back onto Monster Hunter World, which I always go back to. I'm a sucker for it. But I just wanted to throw this out there, and it's not nerd related, but why do tradesmen have the worst music taste? Seriously. Like the gardener rocks up. He just listens to the worst music. Worst music. And it has to be blaringly loud. Like, they have to let the world know that they're listening to this shit music.
Does one of them...
For the purposes of this podcast, I'd just like to specify that we have the world's smallest garden and we needed a fence panel fixing. We don't have like a regular gardener that comes
I mean,
around.
if you two consider 20 acres small, then by all means.
The dog's garden fence needs to be replaced. Which is at the end of our 20 acres, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, and get a tradesman around. It's terrible music. Sorry if you're a tradesman.
Did one of them have the... Do you know that...
The classic, like, boombox sort of thing.
The one that looks really industrial, like you can throw it at someone.
Oh, yeah, you'd kill them.
Yeah.
And still play the music.
Yeah, absolutely.
Terrible way to go.
Could you give an example of the music?
I
love that one.
Yeah.
Harry has an aversion to anything that's not metal, I think it's fair to say.
And anything that's younger than 20 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Much like me.
But also what's quite funny is that, like, Harry has metal blaring out of the car whenever he's coming home, so you can hear him coming like half the mile up the road. And I think other people probably think that, but...
Oh, at least I know. I'll say it on this. You know, Orbit Culture are in London, February.
No moshing, but yes, we'll go.
Okay, great. Thank you.
We'll go suited.
Other than that, I guess before we wrap up, I just wanted us to do a little shout out that one of my customers unfortunately passed away. He was a legend, a guy called Chris Webley. He was a great tattoo artist. You should check out, just literally go on Facebook, type in Christopher Webley Tattoo, and you'll see all the amazing work he did. His studio that he worked for is still going, and all of them are brilliant. But yeah, apart from that, enjoy.
Where's his studio? Do you know?
He's up Leeds way.
Okay.
But he did come down to London. He'd do events.
Yeah, best wishes to his family. And...
Yeah. Thinking of you, dude.
All right, on with the review.
Let's do this.
So on the theme of staying relevant, here comes a film which is 20 years old. Because apparently I don't care about anything that's new. It just has to be old.
You just don't
and I will love it.
You don't like change.
No.
You like to stick in your own little bubble, and that bubble is blue screen tinted.
Anything blue, really.
This may be 20 years old, but he was 50 years old at the time.
Of course.
No, I was in the Spartan army.
Yeah.
In real life story.
This week was a dramatic documentary.
It's a documentary.
It's a retelling.
I watched it 2 weeks ago. I've been in rehab since. It's been, all the PTSD's just got me.
Just cuts to you, just like with like wide eyes, but like a helicopter in the background. It's like, what? There was no.
But yeah, so.
You had more hair back then.
Aww.
I've got to be like that. I've never had hair. I was born bald and I was die bald. So we watched 300, as you might have guessed. So 300 is an adaptation of a 1998 graphic novel by writer/artist Frank Miller, who you might know, who done Sin City and The Dark Knight Returns, and is based on the famous battle of, and I hope I'm saying this right, Thermopylae. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Right, where the small Greek army of 300, funny enough, take on the forces of the Persian might.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, The Persians had a few more than 300.
301. Maybe it made all the difference.
They had a ship. The lightning got that.
Oh, they got a ship!
Oh, fuck!
What did we bring ours? It's just like, it's just beached. It's like, why did we drag this? We're a land-based army. Why did we bring this?
We're a mountain.
So stupid.
It was
The sails up. Sorry.
Released in 2007, it helped launch the career of Zack Snyder. His stylistic vision helped this film gross over $450 million, dollars, very different, from a budget of around 65 million. But he has a cult following, right?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry for any Snyder fans out there that don't know. But
Because he's a pure nerd.
I don't know. Ooh.
it's just his style of film. How
He's got a very... Yeah, he's got his own
way.
very unique style of making a film.
You could watch a film and go, this is a Snyder film, right?
Yeah.
You'd know.
Yes.
Yeah, because
how
of
he films
the
it.
image.
Yeah, we'll get it. I imagine we'll
Yeah,
get
there's
into
gonna be
how the
that.
style affects this.
We
film.
will. So I just want to open up into general vibes. We watched it last night. Ben, you obviously seen it before.
Yeah.
But you also watched it last night to recap.
Yes, I did.
Did it live up? Did it disappoint?
Oh god, this is very much like a style over substance film, and I don't mean that in a disparaging way. I should point out as well, I have not read the graphic novel.
No, same.
I don't know how different it goes. I don't know how much it deviates from it. So I'm only going at this from the actual
The film is the film.
The
That's
film is
all
the
I know.
film. Because again, this sort of kicked off a lot of people being like, "Oh, was this an actual real battle?" And it's like, yes, it is. Like the opposite is a car park now. Lovely, genuinely. The site of the battle still exists. It's still there.
Oh wow, okay.
It's just off an A road now. It's
I'm
quite funny.
Got
actually
McDonald's on it.
really surprised that you said it's like filmed on location. No. Because a lot.
No. The actual fight was filmed on location
Oh right, sorry.
because it actually
Oh,
happened.
the
as a
actual
fight.
historical.
The
fight.
historical fight was
Oh,
fought on
sorry.
location, not in a studio.
Oh, so it is actually based on
It's a real
actual
thing.
event.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, very dramatic retelling of it.
No. Why standard? It's completely accurate. I was there.
Sorry, Harry, yes. As our resident coward who ran away,
I was the snitch.
I will turn on anyone on a dime.
Let me join you. No. Oh, shame.
Like, in terms of an actual story, this is quite literally 300 people go to a mountain pass and defend it, and this is the fight. It is quite literally that story. There's no sort of again, just from my own opinion, there's no real major themes in it. There's a subplot in it about trying to rouse an army in the background.
I don't think there's any layers.
No, there's not a lot of layers to this.
It's
And
hard hitting.
Yeah.
Looks cool.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
Yeah.
It's you've hit the nail on the head for that with me. Very little substance in terms of a story, but what is there? Fuck me, is it good? Like this film still.
it's not winning any awards, right?
But
No, for best story or anything.
yeah, no, it's not getting the Academy Award.
No.
But in terms of an actual,
Did it not get any?
it won
Maybe for visual.
It never got an Academy Award, but it did win quite a few Saturn Awards, if I remember right.
I don't know.
Something like that. It won. It's on my list somewhere. How many? Like it won quite a few.
It won the people's hearts.
It
With that sort of box office. That's what
really
it won.
did. But again, it says for itself. Like in terms of an actual battle and a fight and like a war film, which is what this is, you'd never seen anything like this before. He just used the graphic novel as a storyboard. And I think the actual acting in it is pretty good
Yeah.
for what it is. For what they-
Fassbender.
yeah, he's in it.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I know.
Pretty
yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
Like,
That must be a really early film.
Hinge
then,
Fassbender.
though.
very, very early on. Also had also kind of launched the career of Gerard Butler, who up until that point had been kind of a bit player in
Yeah,
films. He'd never done a lead role.
We were talking about this. What happened to Gerard Butler?
He had a house in California, then it burned down.
Oh,
Yeah, he's still in films.
Is he?
He's in. Yeah, he's been in films.
he's still in those.
It sounds horrible, but I think because that was his big role, he then got typecast as like buff dude.
Yeah,
And then unfortunately, he didn't keep that up.
No.
He now just looks like an average dude. He has got dad bod.
yeah.
And
Respect.
Yeah, respected that mod.
His
I'm
best
for it.
film, P.S. I Love You.
I was going to do that as kind of like a little thing, but like, yeah, it's actually a really good film.
It's such a good
It's a
film.
great film. Yes, I love it. It's a great film.
No.
I will say
Good in Greenland.
his Scottish accent comes out a few times.
A few times. He is just basically Scottish.
Yeah.
You can't say Sparta without going a bit Scotsman.
But it kind of works. This
It
is the
kind of
thing.
does.
It does.
Actually
Yeah.
work. Like everyone in this, it just works and it clicks into place. I'm wondering if that's because the source material is actually very good. If Frank Miller just made a very good story, and like if you're just going to adapt the story as it is, you can't really miss.
You say that. There's a lot of video game movies that would.
That would disagree with you. Yeah. But I mean nowadays. But I think back in the day, like just it again, it's style over substance, but the style of it is so good and it's so on point.
It's good fun.
It's
just,
really good fun, and it's just so.
Do you find heavy? It's like some of the spear hits, like when they're running at them and the horses, and they go to their shield, and then they get the spears out and bang, hit them off the horse. Like it feels like when they hit them, it's like a punctured lunge. And it throws him off of the horse.
I was most upset about the animal violence, I'll say.
Of course.
The elephants that went off the cliff, the horses that got speared.
So the film is just endlessly quotable as well.
Yeah,
like
that's coming a bit later.
We'll have our fight in the shade, and then but I love that each almost everyone in the sort of the core 300s, because I mean, Christ, the extras and that must have had a great time. That would have been my department. But like the actual core group of Spartans, so like the dad and his son, and Leonidas, and the guy who
that was
the guy who eventually
loses his eye.
Yeah, all those people, like they've got very defined roles, and you can tell that they're just actually like in a group. They're actually like a squad within the army, because there's like
Cersei as well, isn't it, from Game of Thrones?
yeah, it's Lena Headey.
Oh my god,
In
Harry
another
spent the entire film going like, I'm sure it's her.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's Game of Thrones.
But yeah, like they're just, I love the moment when they're all just like the arrows are coming down on them, and they're all, and they're like, oh yeah, fight in the shade, and they're just having a laugh about it because like
We might die.
yeah, like, I think this film captures that so much. It's like these are the absolute pinnacle of a warrior. They're the absolute elite.
They just don't care.
Yeah, they are very happy to like, if we die, that's a good thing because we know that we've gone down fighting.
Someone was good enough to take me down.
Yeah.
And I will die happy with that.
Yeah.
I don't want a cheap death or
Exactly.
a warrior's death.
And flash forward 20 years later, and now every gym bro's got it emblazoned on a t-shirt. And it's like, if you were really going to follow the Spartan way, you've got to have sex with your gym mate. Because that is what they did.
As is tradition.
As is tradition. Harry,
What gym
please
do
attest
you
to
go
that. Harry, as someone who was there.
Oh, yeah.
That's where Harry got syphilis the first time.
Was that a disease then? Who knows? That's a whole other podcast.
So watched it for the first time. I agree with you, it's style over substance, but I don't think anyone can say anything different, right? So, the storyline is there, but
They try to push the story with the Queen, don't they? That's the story part.
But yeah, no, I think I really enjoy when I'm watching films looking at the imagery and the visuals that they create, because I just love the kind of costume design, and in this one, well, in this one, I think quite clearly they've make up some of the abs on because they're some of
Are you
them.
questioning my brothers in arms?
Yeah. Short answer. Yeah.
You've got a six pack. It's just
It's just hidden. It's in storage.
In the fridge.
But they all look incredible. So all these men are obviously incredibly fit, but the way the abs pop out of them is just beautiful makeup that they've done, and the style with the red cloaks flashing and swishing around and standing out in a battlefield with the Persians very kind of dark and gold and was really stunning. A lot of the shots, like especially the big scenic shots where you've got the backdrop behind them, you could just pause the film and it would be like looking at a painting.
I read an interview once with Zack Snyder saying that he loves old Renaissance paintings, which when he's got the light behind them, and also just the actual, like when you said, like the clash when it's over the shoulder and they just clash against the shields.
It's very reminiscent of mosh pits.
It's very...
Think of how many ribs were broken that day.
But no one thinks about the rib, people.
No.
No one thinks about that because it's not a big injury, really.
I actually really like that, which is quite hilarious because I am just the world's worst person in an art gallery, to be honest. Harry's quite arty and he loves looking at all the paintings in an art gallery, and I get bored. And then I've obviously got to talk about my girls. So
The one.
the one girl in it, the Queen. For anybody that's listening that's a book nerd, this film reminded me a little bit of the book that's called The Women of Troy by Pat Barker, which is all about the retelling of the Trojan horse story, but from the women's perspective. And this reminded me a lot of it because, you know, women in that period were there for, you know, two things. But a lot of women of that era were so afraid, partly afraid of their husbands, but also afraid that they will die because whoever comes in to replace them will then take you and use you as your slave. So it's like a really interesting power dynamic. And obviously you see that with the Queen because she's very much in love with Gerard Butler, no question. She's not actually that afraid of him, but obviously he goes and he's about to die and she's trying to claw some of the power for herself. And a lot of the women in those days would try and do power plays to make sure they ended up in a good position because otherwise your prospects are slim. Yeah. So yeah, I really quite enjoyed
the bad guy from her side of the story is pretty good. I quite like he's just like a bit sleazy. He's just
evil.
sleazy. He's like
really well played.
He's just such a grub. And, yeah, love at the end. Like just best way to deal with
Satisfying.
it. Just stab him.
What a death.
Oh,
Very
so
sad.
good.
And then when he dies and all the, I don't know, he like explodes like a
Exploding coins.
yeah,
It's like a video game character.
pinata. He explodes in
literally
coins.
What about
And they're
you?
like, oh, traitor!
Yeah.
Traitor!
Again-
Whilst the other guys are like, well, I hope they fucking see my coin. Because we've all got them.
Yeah, what do
hiding
you
in-
think?
Yeah.
I mean, this was my pick. I picked this because I thought maybe it'd be a bit rough around the edges with dated CGI, which sometimes it can be. But I think it was filmed in such a way that it will still look good in 20 years' time. I just think it's...
This has aged really well.
Yeah, it's aged really well. There's films that have come out after that, Marvels, that looks terrible. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's, I don't know. I think the stunt team, credit to them, they did really well.
Yeah.
The wire work was very good. It was just, I don't know, as a pure knobhead of a film critic, right? And I'm not going to go in on the deep, you know, I'm just
Hey, I've got a degree.
it make my
And
brain
your
happy.
staff.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I turned it on, for 2 hours I was entertained.
Yeah.
And that's all I can ask for, really. It's
So when he comes out of the phalanx and it's that crash zoom in and it slows down, he's just slicing through people and speed.
Give me more.
I just love that. Just give me more of that.
I'm pretty sure I actually said out loud, I was like, God, it looks good.
It's so good. Also, really tough effects to do, that crash zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's not just zooming in, that's like 3 cameras having to shoot at different planes.
Nice.
And then stitching those together. Like, if you actually get the behind the scenes to this, some of the techniques they used in that are like actually quite pioneering. Because it's eventually revealed that it's a story being told. It's a retelling.
Yeah, it
Like
is.
he's saying the story. Demi,
Patchman.
yeah, old One Eye,
Oh, one eye.
Faramir,
Yeah,
One Eye Faramir.
yeah.
Because obviously he's telling the story to rally like 10,000 Spartans. And it's like, right, and I love that. It's like if 300 of us could do that, imagine what 10,000 of them could do here. And I'm like, oh my God, I love this.
I can't wait to watch that film.
Ooh.
There is a sequel.
Oh, is it?
Rise of a Disappointment.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
It's already out.
It came out 2000.
Yeah, it was just after.
About 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Is Gerard Butler in it?
No, very briefly. Deals with the Battle of Marathon, I think it is. Yeah.
Funny
the
little
other side.
story. Me and Ben went to go and see that with our good friend Brad.
Yeah.
And this other guy, who I won't name, was working at the pub and he was like, oh boy, are you going to go and watch 300? I was like, yeah. He's like, do you mind if I come? I was like, oh God, yeah, fine. You know, I'm just going to go KFC. And he went to KFC and we just left him.
Yeah.
What?
Like Harry and Brad got his
ran into Ben's car.
Got into my car. It was just like, oh no, go.
This is not a fucking drill. Go. Yeah.
Then we got the waitress involved in it because we went to go get pizza or something. So we actually did get some lunch, and we went, are we bad
We're
people?
bad people.
And she just went,
Yeah.
yeah, you are.
Yeah.
You're awful people.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
you talk about it at work the next day?
We were like, we
God,
were
that film was great.
Yeah, I just had to be like,
We were like, we're going to be late to the showing, so we had to just
yeah,
go.
yeah. We were
Bloody go.
we weren't great people. We're still not.
No.
No.
Just now you have to listen to us.
Yeah, absolutely. What was I talking about?
Saying about the 10,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never realised this back in the day because, again, I was a bit of a stupid child. But obviously, because he's retelling that story, he's able to put in these really fantasy elements to it.
Yeah.
Like, he's able to talk about the immortals. And it's brilliant.
Well, it's the same with, what's his name, Xerxes?
Yes.
He's massive, right? But he's probably, realistically, the size of a normal man.
Yeah.
But he's got the stature of a god. Bad guy.
Oh,
The gold.
yeah.
The bright gold.
Down syndrome from Street Fighter 2. More up-to-date references.
Fantastic. God, we're good at this.
Yeah, that's the only bit that I found a little bit too ridiculous was his massive throne chair that gets carried everywhere. I mean, it's very stylistic, but
But I think in terms of setting up a villain,
excessive.
it's done really well. Like, the first speech you get from an envoy from Persia being like, we just need land and water because our armies are so vast they'll drink your rivers dry and will just decimate all of your crops, so it's best to just let us through. And he's like, fuck you, in the pit.
Yeah. Let's watch this. Yeah.
And also, we talked about the Queen's satisfying ending, but Gerard Butler missing at the end.
That bit is so good when it's like his shield was heavy.
Yeah.
His helmet. Yeah.
But they did
His
so
abs
much,
were rippling.
so much setup,
It's a
and then
30-minute
he
sequence.
missed.
But the whole point, I don't know if you caught it earlier on in the film, is that they say he doesn't even bleed. So the whole point was it shows you that he is mortal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he believes his own hype.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also think in maybe a side film, the bad guy could quite happily be an amazing drag queen. Anyone else?
Oh, those eyebrows.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's on point.
Great makeup.
He's going to
really
Drag
tall.
Race.
Yeah, 100%. I'd love it.
Absolutely.
I'd absolutely love it.
Great look as well, like, because he knows he's not getting out of that fight. He even says to all the Spartans know they're not getting out of that fight at
Yeah.
all. So I think
It's a last stand.
I think he kind of deliberately doesn't aim for him. I think he's like, I'm not getting this, but I can rally other people because if I can show you that like your god king will bleed, and he doesn't look he has at the end when he's like holding his cheek, like that's my blood, it's my blood. But yeah, really good, like hell of a way to go. That's how I want to go. Shower of arrows,
Noted.
half nude with a big red cape on.
Which half?
T-shirt.
Because they paint a very different picture.
One side's quite heroic, the other side,
Bit perverted.
it's going to be like a very.
There's a reason why he was shot with arrows.
It's going to be a small T-shirt.
Nice. Right, so just a little strengths and weaknesses part. Strengths have got to be the visuals.
Yeah, they hold this story.
stunts, the sound design as well. I thought.
The music.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Now we watched it
Yeah.
on 4K.
Oh, of course you did. Because you two are doing very well.
We've got jobs.
We didn't even have to press play. Our butler did that for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as soon as
Not Gerard. He wasn't here.
as soon as the menu
Very good.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Very
As
good.
soon as the menu loaded up on the screen, I was like,
Yeah.
love this song.
Straight to Spotify.
I can imagine Godsmack doing the original soundtrack to this film.
It's like Prince of Persia.
It's so masculine.
Yeah.
This film is so masculine.
Yeah, even
of
the
its,
women are masculine, aren't they?
yeah, it's so of its time.
Why does she talk in my presence? Because only
Why is she lifted in my presence? Like, ooh, benching.
he's so good at deadlifting. Okay, so I'm going to go on to a little bit of trivia and facts. Some of these are true, some of these are made up. And I'll let you decide what you think are true and what
Alright.
made up. First one, so the iconic kick scene was helped by Gerard Butler trying something a little bit different. In the original scene, he literally just says "This is Sparta," and kicks him. And they shot that about 5 or 6 times, and it didn't feel right. And so he went, "Can I try something?" And they were like, yeah, go for it. And then he bellows, "This is Sparta," and does the kick, which is massively iconic now, right?
So iconic.
But they fucking thought it was hilarious. So he did it, done the kick, and apparently all the cast and that were holding their mouth, just trying not to laugh, because it just was completely out of like what they were expecting.
Yeah.
But yeah, mad, because
Have they filmed the rest of the film at that point?
no, it was filmed chronologically.
Was it?
Yeah, it was.
So yeah.
What's really sad is also because they did it over a fully built pit, no crash mat at the bottom of it. They lost one good stuntman in that scene.
Really?
No.
Whilst Ben's laughing about it,
Can you imagine?
I was like, wow.
our thoughts and prayers are for any stuntman that have had a bad time.
Absolutely.
The film runtime is actually only 43 minutes. The rest is made up of slow motion.
That's not true. That cannot be true.
It's not true.
No. But you know what? Given what Zack Snyder's done lately, I could believe it. I
yeah.
could genuinely believe it.
There is so much slow motion. Not as much as the BVS, not
No.
BVS, Justice League,
Yeah.
the Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be 4 hours. It could legit be 3 hours.
I would say, just to interrupt your trivia, because that was the point I forgot, we have both seen, because like, Harry and I have seen quite a lot of Zack Snyder's other films. We've seen BBS, we've seen, like, I haven't seen Rebel Moon, haven't seen that. Probably
I haven't seen it.
Really don't want to, but I have to.
Sucker Punch.
Sucker Punch, yeah. Was this the right thing for him to do? Because obviously this film has kind of influenced every film he's done since. Like, his hallmarks are there. The slow motion is there. The very excessive CGI is there. The kind of...
I think he could direct any film and it would have the same,
Yeah.
honestly. I think it was inevitable.
It is so... It's quite funny to me to have rewatched it and be like, this is now just become his, like, Zack Snyderisms. And you either love it or you really don't love it.
That's
I
the
am
thing.
team love it, I've got to say.
Yeah.
When it's not excessive,
Yeah.
Justice League Extended is too much. It's too far. There's so much in it.
Yeah.
That's the thing is I haven't seen Justice League or BVS because I'm not a huge DC lover, Batman aside. But I have seen Sucker Punch a long time ago and really, really liked that. Yeah, probably this one is better than Sucker Punch.
So, he choreographed the love scene between Leonidas and the Queen as like a wrestling match. He thought it would be less awkward for the actors.
Chokehold!
Yeah.
Oh, off the top rope!
He said it helped with the awkwardness as he was embarrassed and thought it would help everyone. Do you know what I say? Just don't do it.
Yeah, just
You don't need to
cut it out.
That sex scene adds nothing. Apart from some serious nip action.
Yeah, and
Both him and...
From Leonidas, mostly, which is what I care about.
the ab count was 46,325.
That cannot.
yeah,
I counted.
I completely agree.
That's not true. It's not true.
That's insane!
So many abs though.
Also, only 300 of them were shirtless. How would you know?
I say that the what are they called? Archimedes? Or what are the boys that join them?
Oh, yeah, the Greek.
The lads.
Yeah.
The rest of the army.
Yeah, the ones that are like nobodies. Without sounding horrible.
It says it in the film as well. It's like, oh, they did all right.
They did.
It's just like, yeah, they did fine.
You can leave as well. Take your money. I don't care.
Yeah. Oh, so the sequel follows those people who were the Greeks that come bits back
okay.
up.
Oh, that's not interesting.
A lot of abs, though. Just as jacked
I'm
as the
back
Spartans. There we go.
You son of a bitch.
I'm back.
Do you know who was originally meant to be cast instead of Gerard Butler?
It was going to be Stephen Fry.
No. Funny enough, no. It was Stephen Merchant.
Oh, that'd be so good.
Think how many abs you can get on his long body.
Think how northern he'd be.
Yeah.
Oh, this is Sparta. Oh, someone's got to clean that up.
That's disgusting. Brad Pitt.
Okay.
But
I could see.
he was too busy with ruining his marriage. With doing Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Yeah.
Well,
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
no.
worked out for him at the time, not so much now.
Yeah. But yeah, so Gerard Butler got that credit.
Okay.
So
He was relatively, I don't know if it's in your notes, he was relatively unknown at the time, wasn't he? Like,
I think so.
This was the one that got him like to superstardom because
I don't have any memory, but I mean, I'm a moron, so.
I feel like I could see
Yeah.
I could see Brad Pitt in it. I could see him doing
Being
it.
the
But
captain.
I prefer Gerard Butler because he's also a bit like
Rough around the edge.
yeah. I
Ragged.
feel like Brad Pitt would be too polished.
his beard game. I mean, not for me right now. I've just shaved it. The beard game in
No, it's
300.
strong.
Like that was the majority of the budget. Was that in your notes? The majority of it was on beard oil.
The 60 million.
Yes.
The 5 is the for everything else.
59 million of it went on beard oil. They went, oh god, we need to just shoot the rest of the film though.
All they had to do was wave a torch near his face, and it would have just gone up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you hazard a guess how long he had to spend in the gym a day? He was in the gym over the period of 4 months to keep that sort of shape. How long do you think he stayed in the gym a day?
4 hours.
6.
It was four hours
a day.
a day, yeah. Over the period of 4 months to keep,
Yeah.
which is insane.
And only 2 hours was him looking at his phone between reps.
Yeah.
Nice.
Last little fact, the first film to ever have dual fluting. Possibly the last.
Harry was obsessed with this when we watched it.
When the armies march off right for the first time, when the 300. One of the guys has got 2 flutes. He's dual fluting.
What?
How do
You
you
have
dual
to
flute?
rewatch it.
Does he?
Yeah.
How can you do that?
You see like through the fire and flames.
Yeah.
Why would you need... Well, I guess one breaks, I guess.
Yeah, the other flutist died at some point.
And then there was someone else who was dual horning.
Horning.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Jesus,
It was good.
is there anything the Spartans couldn't
I
do?
know.
Yeah, his lungs would be worked out.
Jesus.
So quickly. 4 hours a day.
Did you... I don't know.
An hour of that was his mind. Just reading the dictionary.
Just belting out Scarborough Fair again and again. I don't know. This might be a trivia question for you two. There is one shot that is not filmed in the studio on a blue screen. Can you think about what shot that might be?
The only shot I can think is the wolf with the lad.
Okay, it's not that one.
It's not.
I think right at the beginning in their hometown.
Okay, it's not that one either.
Damn.
There is one like I'd say live action one that doesn't have much CGI in it apparently, and it's when the horses are galloping across the countryside.
Oh,
That is the
that
only
makes sense.
only one. Also, that wolf animatronic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's some bits of it where when
And animatronic horses as well.
yeah, when you see the shadow of the wolf coming in, that's an animatronic. It's not CGI.
It's not someone with hands.
like a bad shadow puppet. Just like
The only
just
thing,
doing it like.
Mock the art of shadow puppetry,
I'm
please.
not mocking the art of
Not on
shadow.
this podcast. Not ever, sir.
You go and do your own podcast for that.
the only thing that I would say as a negative is, although it looked spectacular, there were a couple of moments where like he moves a boulder or something and it's clearly made of like paper. Like
He's that hench.
Yeah, it was probably a real boulder.
Have you played Resident Evil 5?
Yeah.
no.
Well, people who have played that,
Well, that's another thing we have to play. Thanks.
super relevant as well.
And also, oh, you got it before me. That was like brilliant. Another great timely reference.
Did you notice in the end bit, you know, in the Hunchback, I can't remember his name, he looks like a Geodude.
Yeah.
Quasimodo.
It does.
Oh,
Yeah.
Super my time. I was like, what is that name?
Yeah, Quasimodo.
Yeah,
When he
yeah.
rocks up with his new Persian outfit. And
His new confidence.
his new confidence, yeah.
His glow up.
New look. He got queer-eyed. You know, when he
Another
said,
great show.
I hope you live forever.
Okay.
The reason why he said that, it's like the ultimate insult. Because for them, they want to die on the battlefield.
Okay.
So it's like, I hope you live forever. You'll never get that satisfaction
Yeah.
of a Spartan's death. One more final, like, fuck you, mate.
I really kind of wish that Gerard Butler had turned around and been like, "What would your dad think of you?" or something.
I'm not angry. I'm just so disappointed.
I hope you look at my abs all day.
Even he was ripped, to be fair.
Yeah.
Even because he was ripped.
Everyone's ripped
Yeah.
Good luck picking me up above your head.
Yeah.
Just throw me at the armies. Like a boulder, just. Little thing. You've obviously watched epic rap battles of history?
I have.
They did Leonidas versus Master Chief.
So good.
So
Who won?
who do you think would win? Because there is no winner in it. You just have to pick a winner.
Yeah, you literally decide.
I think,
I think
unfortunately,
Master Chief.
I think in the rap, Master Chief wins.
Master Chief. There's a last line.
It's just as good. I mean, they're both really good. If anyone hasn't watched it, super relevant, really recent. It's well worth a watch. Epic rap battles of history. I'd say the only other thing, really, why was there no video game?
I remember playing a PSP version of this, of 300. I remember playing this on the PSP. I don't think
Massive selling console.
Yeah, all right.
In a time where Dynasty Warriors was huge, right? And Dynasty Warriors is you and your boys going into a battlefield where
Take
you're
it out 10,000.
vastly outnumbered.
Yeah.
Yeah, it made sense, right? The game was going to sell itself. You could just do Dynasty Warriors Spartan Edition or whatever. Pay for the license to use it.
Yeah, I suppose so.
It's just the coding, isn't it? Just change it to Greek.
I remember this, if I remember it correctly, this was it. The PSP version plays a lot like God of War did. It was your hack and slash that also had like these phalanx bits that you as like quick time events. From what I remember, it wasn't too bad, but the PSP does not do it any justice.
Yeah.
Like
Can you play as a co-op game? Like you be Leonidas and I'll just be your abs.
I'll be Quasimodo.
I guess the only other thing to ask is, does it get the NaN approval?
I'm going to put my hand up and say yeah.
I would say yeah.
Oh, really?
I would. I did really like it.
Okay.
I just think
I'm going to say
it's
yes. And it doesn't matter because you two have done it already.
Completely
But
unanimous then.
I picked this because I thought you might not like it to bring up some argument for it. Who knew? I'm just
No,
so
it was
fucking
very
good at
pretty.
picking films. Okay.
Okay.
So
All the
before we end
sequel.
up, I'd just like to do a little shout out to Mitch, our editor. Good.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Mitch.
Thank you, Mitch.
Thank you, Mitch, for making us sound much, much better than we actually are and have ever been or ever will be.
Thanks, Mitch. You're doing an awesome job. We've been Nerds Against Normality. Thanks for listening. Please follow, rate, like us. Follow us on social media. We're now on Facebook, Insta. And if you have a question, something you want us to review, something you disagree with from the podcast, or have a great story from your week,
Don't at me because I don't need that negativity.
Yeah, keep it to yourself. I'm on the
only
edge.
positive stories, please email us at nerdsagainstnormalitypod@outlook.com. Thanks for listening.
Thank you very much.
This is a podcast. Is what he would say in the modern day. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.